Hello everyone, my name is Warfarc, and I went to an amusement park recently, and I wondered, did anyone die here? So here are the top 5 amusement park deaths. And by top 5, I don't mean that I ordered these deaths based on how good they were, how interesting they were. No, I just took 5 random ones. Here we go. Number 5. The Kings Islands Tragedy. On June 9th, 1991, a man fell into a pond. The man's friend and a park employee both jumped into the pond to rescue him. All 3 men in the pond received an electric shock, which killed the 2 people who jumped in to save the man and ironically didn't kill the guy who originally fell in the pond. If that wasn't enough, an hour later, a 32-year-old woman fell off a ride called Flight Commander and died on impact. The park is still open to this day, and many people have reported sightings of the ghost of a little girl in a blue dress. Number 4. The Mindbender roller coaster accident. On the evening of June 14, 1986, the worst nightmare of roller coaster riders happened. Missing bolts on the left inside wheel assembly of the last car caused the 4-car train to disengage from the track. The final car fishtailed wildly, colliding with the support structures, throwing off passengers, stalling at the first loop, sliding backwards, and then crashing into a concrete pillar. 3 of the people on the car were killed, either by falling to the ground or hanging on the track, with the 4th man seriously injured in the chest and neck. At the time of the accident, the park was packed with people going to a concert. Many of the concert goers were given a horrific view as the band played over the derailing coaster. The ride opened 7 months later with new safety measures, but I personally wouldn't ride this roller coaster. Number 3. The Big Disaster at Battersea Fun Fair in London, England. The Big Dipper was an old wooden roller coaster that was the main attraction at this park, but just because it was popular doesn't mean that it wouldn't have tragedy attached to its name. In the summer of 1972, the rope that brings the cars to the top of the launch hill snapped. Then, the anti-rollback mechanism failed. With that double whammy, the chain of cars barreled back into the boarding area, smashing into a wall and killing 5 children, and seriously injuring 13 others. The Battersea Fun Fair was closed 2 years later due to the accident. Number 2. The Eco-Adventure Valley Space Journey at Overseas Chinatown East in Shenzhen, China. The Eco-Adventure journey was supposed to simulate a rocket launch, but on June 29, 2010, the thrill-seeking riders got much more than they bargained for. During the ride, one of the cars suddenly came loose and lost all power. The dome ricocheted around the chamber and started an electrical fire before plunging out of the sky, 35 feet to the ground, with more than 44 people inside. 6 people were killed, 5 were critically injured, and 5 more sustaining serious injuries. Number 1. Surprisingly, the worst accident that happened in the history of theme parks wasn't from a roller coaster or space simulation. It was from a haunted house. On May 11, 1984, the haunted castle at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson Township, New Jersey, bursted into flames. The wind-whipped flames soared over 2,000 degrees, melting the metal walls, but not the steel beams, wink wink, turning the interior into a raging inferno. Most of the people inside the castle escaped safely, but 8 teenagers became trapped and died in the blaze. Their bodies were torched beyond recognition. The park was brought up on charges for lacking safety precautions like sprinklers or smoke detectors, but Six Flags escaped responsibility because the castle was considered a temporary structure. Arson was likely the cause of the fire. Now, Warfarc is a huge fan of roller coasters and a fan of theme parks. Now, listening to this list of all these tragic events, you might be scared to go to amusement parks or ride roller coasters, but remember, they have improved on their safety measures and these roller coasters are now safer now. And I think the only valid way you can die at an amusement park is from dehydration because of the overpriced fucking water. That's all, folks. This has been Warfarc, and I hope you ride your roller coaster safely. Have a good one.